Hi Gummy Bears, it's me, Teacher Caitlin. Today we're going to be reading Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons by Eric Litwin. I have Pete's 4 buttons up here on my magnet board. Let's try and keep track of where his buttons go during our story. Let's begin. Look at all those buttons. Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. Our illustrator is named James Dean, and our author is named Eric Litwin. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Oh no! Pop! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? We had 1 button pop and roll away. How many buttons are left? 1, 2, 3. 3 buttons. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 3 groovy buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Oh no! Pop! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1 button popped and rolled away. So now we have 1, 2. 2 buttons. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 2 groovy buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Oh no! Pop! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1 more button popped and rolled away, which means we have 1 more button. 1 button left. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 1 groovy button, my 1 groovy button. Oh no! Pop! The last button popped off and rolled away. The last button popped and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0 buttons. 0 buttons are left. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? What did Pete see? His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing our song. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. I really loved reading Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons with you today. I'll see you next time. Bye!